The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us on a Finally Friday. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
Tributes are pouring in as the entertainment world mourns the shocking and sudden passing of Lisa Marie Presley. She was the only child of Elvis and Priscilla Presley. She was rushed to the hospital after reportedly going into cardiac arrest at her home in Calabasas yesterday. The news sending shockwaves across the country, especially at Graceland, her famous father's estate. News Nation's Ashley Paul has more from Memphis, Tennessee.
It's a sad night here tonight. We've seen fans trickling in to pay their respects, and the mood here, it's just somber. I mean, this is Graceland. This is where Lisa Marie grew up, which is why fans we spoke with say this news tonight hits especially close to home. Just 4 days ago, Lisa Marie Presley visiting her childhood home to celebrate what would have been her late father's 88th birthday.
Today, he would have been 88 years old. It's hard to believe. And I think that he would be proud. I think this year has been an incredible year.
Tonight, we celebrate her life, which was cut short when she died this evening at the age of 54.
We spent all afternoon in there talking about him, his family, and all of a sudden we get the news on the phone.
Fans at Graceland this afternoon shocked by the news that Lisa Marie was rushed to the hospital after suffering cardiac arrest.
I mean, I just think it's so tragic. She's so young. The Globes were a couple of nights ago. Obviously, she was there with Priscilla.
According to CBS News, she was immediately put on life support in a medically induced coma after the incident. Her mother, Priscilla, tweeting out this afternoon, quote, "My beloved daughter, Lisa Marie, was rushed to the hospital. She is now receiving the best care. Please keep her and our family in your prayers. We feel the prayers from around the world and ask for privacy during this time," end quote. Lisa Marie left a legacy on the world, especially her home here in Memphis.
I think Lisa Marie has just been this big light in like showing the good in Elvis and like what he's brought in, especially his history in Memphis. And so, I mean, it's just so disappointing to hear.
Elvis died of cardiac arrest right here at Graceland 45 years ago. He, along with both his parents, his grandmother, and his grandson, Lisa Marie's son, who died back in 2020, they're all buried here on the Graceland property. We'll keep you posted with any information about Lisa Marie's funeral arrangements as we learn it. Reporting at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, I'm Ashley Paul.
Back here at home this morning, the U.S. Postal Service is investigating two separate knife attacks in Bakersfield. One of them caught on camera. Officials say mail carriers reported two separate knife attacks Monday. It's unknown where the incidents happened. Luckily, no one was hurt in either incident, according to the inspection service. The Postal Inspection Service is also investigating two similar knife attacks and two other gunpoint robberies that happened in Bakersfield last year. Officials say stealing mail keys is usually the goal of these incidents. If you have any information, call the U.S. Postal Inspection Service at 877-876-2455. A reward's available for information leading to an arrest and conviction. We have more information on our website, kget.com.
We are learning more about a salary increase coming to county detention deputies. Sheriff's officials say the pay hike is intended to help retain officers and encourage more to work in law enforcement to improve overall public safety here in Kern County. 17's Michaela Armstrong explains.
Public safety was at the forefront of the Board of Supervisors' mind as each approved a 22% raise for Kern County Sheriff's Office detention deputies.
This is the first step, I believe, for us to start addressing the overall public safety issues that we have in the county. But it starts, I believe, with the detention deputies, and I think that that's been the missing component.
The salary raise is to help retain officers and hire more people who want to work in detentions. More detention officers will solve a problem that Chief Administrative Officer Ryan Alsop says the county has been trying to tackle.
We have a number of empty jail beds that are unstaffed and unused, even though we built a brand new jail facility because of this problem.
For the last few years, according to Alsop, approximately 95 sheriff deputies were working in detentions to make up for the lack of detention officers, taking them off the streets.
The sheriff had to do away with its gang enforcement unit a few years ago. It wasn't because there wasn't any funding. It was because he didn't have the officers. And he didn't have the officers because he was having to fix this problem in detentions and moving officers to two detentions functions.
However, Alsop says this is the first step of many to come to addressing public safety in Kern.
We've spent a lot of time this past year talking about public safety. We've heard from residents it's a high priority, rising crime, response times, etc. I think all of that is going to be addressed through this effort.
All right, now to a developing story here at home. The Highway Patrol's investigating a deadly crash in Irvine. It happened last night around 5:30 on Highway 223 east of Tower Line Road. CHP says a big rig crashed into a car and the vehicle overturned. One person was killed. No further details have been released.
5:34 is your time now, and the House of Representatives wraps up its first week of the new session of Congress with Speaker of the House, Bakersfield's Kevin McCarthy at the helm. Controversies in Washington set up a busy first week for Speaker McCarthy as the impact from his days-long battle to get the gavel still lingers. 17's political reporter Maddie Gannon has more.
That was easy, huh?
After a 4-day battle to finally clinch the gavel, Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy marking his first week as Speaker of the House.
Thank you very much. I wanted to hold the first press conference here for
the week, kicking off with McCarthy leading Republicans in passing the new House rules package.
The resolution is agreed to,
including McCarthy's agreement with Speaker detractors to allow one member to call for a vote to oust him.
The only change within that is vacate the chair from 5 to 1.
Then came the news of about a dozen classified documents found in President Biden's private office and Delaware home from his time as vice president.
I think Congress has to investigate this.
Meanwhile, the Speaker taking center stage this week in mounting pressure on freshman GOP Representative George Santos to resign after reports he lied about his background, including where he worked and went to college while on the campaign trail, with McCarthy stopping short of asking him to step down.
You apply the Constitution equal to all Americans. The voters of his district have elected him. He is seated. He is part of the Republican conference.
All of it as McCarthy prepares to lead the House with an ultra-thin Republican majority, which could boil over into battles to fund the government and raise the debt limit.
In McCarthy's first press conference yesterday, he highlighted Republicans' work this week, including rescinding new funding to hire IRS agents, which is unlikely to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate, as well as creating a bipartisan committee to investigate China. And this morning, we are learning new information about a third discovery of classified material stored by President Biden. This after Attorney General Merrick Garland made a bombshell announcement yesterday that he is appointing a special counsel to investigate the matter. NBC's Bree Jackson has more from Washington.
To announce the appointment of
Attorney General Merrick Garland appointing Robert Hur, a former federal prosecutor and a U.S. attorney during the Trump administration, as special counsel to investigate classified documents stored by President Biden.
This appointment underscores for the public the department's commitment to both independence and accountability in particularly sensitive matters.
The move follows the discovery of a third batch of classified materials, including one found in President Biden's garage at his Delaware home.
By the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
The president stressing he's fully cooperating with the Justice Department. Former President Trump blasting him.
And if you look at the picture of him in the Corvette and take a look behind it in the garage, they got papers strewn all over the place. It's a mess.
The Justice Department faced intense pressure from Republicans to name a special counsel after the department tapped one to investigate Trump's handling of 100 classified documents seized from his Mar-a-Lago estate.
I do not think any American believes that justice should not be equal to all.
There are, as far as I can see, enormous differences between the situation with President Biden and the former president.
Legal experts say it's important to let the investigation play out.
So far, There's not a single fact that suggests that this was anything but what the president said, a mistake.
The White House says it's confident the special counsel investigation will show the classified documents were inadvertently misplaced. In a statement, Special Counsel Herr said he intends to follow the facts swiftly and thoroughly without fear or favor. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for NBC News.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.